This is the Narwal Freo X Ultra, a flagship smart vacuum that has a feature not seen in any other smart vacuum currently on the market. Today, I'm going to tell you 5 things that you're going to want to know about this smart vacuum before you decide to buy it or not. I do want to thank Narwal for sending this out to me for a full honest review, but this is not sponsored in any other way. Let's go ahead and jump into the video. All right, number 1, first thing that you need to know is by far and hands down, this is the best smart vacuum on the market for anyone that has pets that shed a lot, or if you shed a lot, then this is the one that is great for anything to deal with hair or strings because of their tangle-free design brush. Now, this brush I originally saw at CS, and this thing is awesome. They kept feeding it and feeding it and feeding it, and it didn't clog up whatsoever. Normal brushes are mounted on both sides, but this one is only mounted on one side, so it just holds that, it gets that hair and just sucks it all in one direction. And there's nothing on that other side except for the vacuum, and it just gets sucked in. So it's really cool, and you can see in my testing here, picked it up, and when I went to open it up to see if anything was tangled, completely clean. Now, that is so cool and definitely worth it if you have long hair pets that shed a lot, or if you shed a lot, hands down, this is the one to have. However, I do have some reservations about this vacuum otherwise, which leads me into number 2. All right, number 2 is that this is one of the best looking base stations out there on the market. Now, obviously, this is very subjective and it's my personal opinion, but I've heard a lot of people talk about how this looks better than any other one. I love the curve to the base station. I love how the vacuum is totally all underneath. It doesn't stick out like most other smart vacuums and create this tripping hazard. It's just one of the best looking designs of a base station that stores a vacuum in a very convenient location that looks awesome. Now, keep in mind though, that this base station does not collect any of the dust. All the dust is collected on the robot itself, it's stored on the robot itself, and Narwal says this has enough room to hold dust and dirt for up to 7. Now, that's very subjective depending on if you have a clean house or a dirty house, but hey, I'd rather have it sucked up into the base station than have it cleaned more often. But to each their own, if you're okay with having it all onto the robot and cleaning it more often, hey, to each their own. Now, one of the other things I like about the dustbin on the vacuum is that they have disposable dust bags. They include 2 with the original purchase, and they also have one that you can reuse. So if you use those 2 up and you don't want to buy more, you don't have to. Obviously, if you do, that's going to be additional cost to you, but I kind of like that you can just dispose of these and you don't have to open up that reusable one and maybe get the dust everywhere. So it's really nice option that you can go for the reusable or the disposable. Now, keep in mind also, this has an onboard soap dispenser into that base station, but it's pretty much proprietary to their own soap bottles. So unless you jerry-rig this soap bottle and you can fill it up somehow, you have to buy their soap, which I don't love. I love the smell of it and it cleans and everything. I don't love that they lock you in to buying their own refillable soap products. But this is one of the best looking base stations in my opinion. So if you're going to have this out in the open, hey, you want something that looks good in your house, don't you? All right, number 3 is that this does have obstacle avoidance, which is a must-have in my house and most people's houses. I have pets and kids, and they leave things on the floor. Some big, some small, some wires, some pet feces. You just never know what's going to be out there when the robot's sent out there. And I need a robot that has obstacle avoidance. Unfortunately, even though this has it and they have a name for it, the Tri-Laser Navigation and Avoidance System, it doesn't work. It was the worst one I've ever tested since these avoidance systems came out. Yes, if the object was big, like a shoe or something taller, yes, it could see it. But most of the things that I'm worried about, like wires and pet feces, that's just a huge mess right there. If it gets into pet feces, it's just a bigger mess than what it was to begin with. And because I do still have a puppy that accidentally have accidents in the house from time to time, I have to have something that works when it comes to the obstacle avoidance. And unfortunately, they really need to work on it in this vacuum. Now, they can update this in a firmware, has all the technology, has the LiDAR, has the tri-laser avoidance system, whatever they want to call it. It has that on there. You can see it, but for some reason, it's not working for low objects, and that's what I'm more concerned about. So if you have pets that have long hair and shed a lot, 2 thumbs up on this vacuum. But if they also do some accidents in the house, unfortunately, that's just even worse than the hair being tangled up, and it's probably not the best vacuum for you. All right, number 4 is that this does a great job at vacuuming and mopping. Has 8,200 pascals of suction power, has the triangle mopping head so it can clean closer and better, has the little wiggle thing as it does the edge. I love how it also vacuums the edge of a rug when it detects a rug. Great cleaning. I love how you can send the robot back to the base station to have the mopping heads cleaned at preset square footage of 86, 108, or 129 square feet. Or when it finishes one room and before it goes to the next, it's going to go back and clean those mopping heads. Now, unfortunately, there's no onboard water tank in this robot. So for me, I would think that you would want to send it back more often to get those mopping heads clean and put new clean water onto those mopping heads. Who likes to clean with dirty water these days? So if you want a robot that can go further away from the base station and had an onboard water tank and stay out longer, unfortunately, this one does not have that option. All the water is only on the mopping head, and then it goes back and puts new clean water on it, and that's how it gets the job done. However, I do have one minor gripe with the cleaning, and that is the suction power. You have to set a predetermined level. They have 4 different options. And unfortunately, if it's cleaning hardwood floor at that one level, when it goes onto carpet, it does not up the suction power. Other smart vacuums I have the ability to up the suction just because it's going to take more suction power to get that dust and dirt out of a carpet than it is on a hardwood floor. But it keeps it at that one level. Obviously, you can run the entire cleaning cycle in the max level, but it's going to be pretty loud. I just want it to clean the hardwood at normal level, and then when it gets to carpet or my rugs to up the level, and then I can be a little bit noisier. Obviously, you can run the entire thing in a quiet mode, and when you're sleeping, you don't have to hear it all, but that suction level is definitely going to be less. All right, number 5 is that this does have mapping just like any other smart vacuum, where you can send it out and map out your house, which is really cool. It uses the little LiDAR, but it's very standard on today's smart vacuum. However, there's only one map. So if you have multiple floors where you take the vacuum up a set of stairs by hand and you set it off to do its business, it doesn't have the map. Now, obviously, you can remap it if you want to, but unfortunately, you lose the old map. Obviously, this is another thing they can fix in the app just with a software update. So hopefully that will be coming soon, because for people like me that have multiple levels to the house, we need multiple maps. And as an added bonus, this does integrate with Alexa and Siri shortcuts. However, it's just basic control. And what I mean by that is that you can tell it to clean, you can tell it to go back to the base station, you can ring it so you can find it. But unfortunately, there's no way in Siri shortcuts or Alexa to tell it to clean the kitchen. I have seen another smart vacuum that has more control over their Siri shortcuts, where you can tell it to go to a specific room. So if something spills, the only option you have is to clean the entire map, or go into the app itself and select that room that you want. And that just defeats the purpose of having a smart home assistant like Siri shortcuts or Alexa. All in all, this is a great smart vacuum if you have pets that shed, or if you shed and have a lot of carpet and hair that gets tangled up into the roller. This by far is the only one that I've ever seen that has a full 100% tangle-free brush roller. I mean, at CES, they kept feeding this thing in and it never tangled up whatsoever. So if that's a feature that you must have because you have pets that shed, then this is definitely the one to get, as long as you're okay with the cons I've mentioned in this video. Let me know what you guys think. Is this something that you would want in your household? Definitely let me know down in the comments below. Thanks for watching, guys. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. Have a lot of great videos coming out on this channel and on my other channels. You can check them all out down below. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for watching. Hit that like button. See you on the next one.